Hello, viewers. Good evening. You are welcome to your favorite talk sports show on the Premier Sport Fan Center. My name is Afolayan Adeyemi. I'll be your host for today. I'm not alone in the studio, but before we get right to it, you see, January is a showdown. The season it makes the season more clearer for us, and title tension, AFCON fire, football at boiling point. You know what that means? Yes, it's eating up. Yes, the world of football is eating up, especially AFCON, the Premier League, the Syria. You can talk about the La Liga, a 60-minute high-energy football podcast dissecting transfer chaos, little pressure, rising egos, and AFCON drama, where club ambitions collide with international pride. So, welcome to Talk Sport, where football biggest story meets real analysis and real emotions. This week, the January window explodes. The Premier League title race tightens, and AFCON brings raw passion and controversy. From Pep Guardiola landing a new weapon, to Arsenal wobbling, to Nigeria versus Algeria lighting up Africa. This is football at full volume. Before we go into the stories we have for today, I'll not be the one dissecting this. My job here is just to refresh and reinterpret, or maybe reintroduce the conversation. It is Paulo that will dissect the topics we have for today. Paulo, you are welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, and viewers out there. So welcome. So happy to be back here once again. I always, feel excited whenever I'm on the Talk Sport show. So I can't wait to get started.
Let's get right into it. Not really a shocker for me though, but the clubs were on the Bournemouth man Semenyo's heels, like, oh, come join us. Boom, it was Man City. Now, Man City have stunned the Premier League by signing Antoine Semenyo for 62.5 million in January. It's a rare mid-season power move for Pep Guardiola, instantly shifting the balance in the title race and raising questions about squad depth, intent, and fairness. Now, number one, does this signing make Man City clear favourite for the title again, or does it expose panic rather than planning?
Well, I think the signing doesn't make them favourite. Already they are 5 points behind the
6 points.
6 points rather behind the tabletop Arsenal. But what the signing means is that they are adding more firepower up front. But you look at the signing, you ask yourself, is it really necessary, or is it the position they need? About a week ago now, they suffered 2 massive injury blows to their defense, and you'll be expecting them to go all out and bring in defenders. But it has been set in motion. For them to bring on what's his name, Semenyo before the injury happened. But despite that, I don't think the signing makes them favourite. And at the same time, it's not a panic buy, but it's just for them to add more firepower. Because one thing we've noticed with City already this season is that once Erling Haaland struggles, they find it difficult to get goals, and that is probably the reason why they're bringing on Semenyo again.
So, where exactly does Semenyo fit tactically in this Pep's team? And who loses minutes because of me? Because you have to look at the way Man City is set up. All balls to Haaland when he's free at goal. And now Semenyo coming into the picture, and he has a high for scoring a lot of goals.
Well, it's going to be very difficult for us to, because at the moment I can't really say this where he's going to play or not. We look at him, he switches wings most time. And you look at City, they have a lot of wingers. You talk about Jeremy Doku, you talk about Savinho, you talk about even Bernardo Silva, you talk about Foden. All of them, they play. They can play from the wing. But at the moment, you look at the wingers they have. Are they doing better than Semenyo? At the moment, I don't think so. So I think in the team sheet, Semenyo will be probably the second players to be named after Erling Haaland up front. Then every other players will can follow. Yeah.
Well, you can hear Paul. He said every other player will follow the line. Semenyo will lead after Erling Braut Haaland right there. The Norwegian striker who has been in top form this season. Currently the highest goal scorer in the Premier League this season. So should rival clubs feel aggrieved that City can still flex financially mid-season?
I don't think rival fans should be worried about that. See, there's no time City have stopped spending the money. They've always spent it. Even the last window, during the summer, they brought in quite a number of players, and they spend the cash. And the amount they are playing for Semenyo, I don't think is too outrageous, but though it's a bit high, but it's not outrageous. So
it's the normal fee for the guy. The market now.
That's what I'm saying. It's not outrageous because you look at other players that have moved across different clubs.
So it's actually in range. So from City's strength to Arsenal going frustration at the top. Arsenal held again Premier League hopes on the edge. Now, a goalless draw against Liverpool leaves Arsenal fans uneasy. Strong defensively but blunt in attack. The result ignites the debate about whether this squad has the cutting edge to go all the way. So, Arsenal managing games smartly, or are they failing to take risk when it matters the most?
Well, it's just one game that was against Liverpool. Before then, they've won about 5 games in a row in the league. The only difference now is that people expected them to take advantage of City, Aston Villa, or dropping or failing to win their games. I don't think they dropped point. They picked just 1 point each. But why we say it's not a bad result for Arsenal is because they played Liverpool. The defending champion, and if Arsenal, if it were that Arsenal was playing teams like maybe Bournemouth or Crystal Palace, and you drop point or you picked 1 point where your challenger.
But they lost 4 points to Liverpool this season.
It still doesn't matter because the 3 point was early in this beginning of the season, but after 4 or 3 games. But right now, what matters most is that the people behind you didn't pick
their point,
their maximum point. So it's still advantage Arsenal 6 points. And you look at it this way now. Arsenal have played Liverpool home and away.
Yeah.
Liverpool still has to play City, play Aston Villa.
But Arsenal too has to play City, play Chelsea.
That's quite different. You still have to play. I'm talking about because these are the big teams now, the traditional big six. You've played Liverpool home and away. So City has to still face Liverpool. Then Arsenal and City, they still face. That one is another game entirely because that one could also go.
So will you say this draw is a psychological dent to the title race of Arsenal? Looking at the way City is strengthening their squad with new arrivals, and we did a conversation on Maguire. It's like City are ready to even splash the cash to bring in Maguire this January.
It's not a dent because we don't know if those players are going to gel, how long it's going to take them. You can't say they're going to
gel immediately. Some can.
Yeah, but we've seen some players also come and
take time.
If what they call them, Savinho, Doku, all of them, if they are performing very well, I don't think City will.
But looking at Arsenal setup, will you say they lack that match winner? Because you saw Arteta bringing players against Liverpool, likes of Noni Madueke and the likes. I think Gabriel Martinelli also came off from the bench. Also Gabriel Jesus. Looking at the defensive, the depth of the squad of Arsenal, will you say they lack match winners? That's why they couldn't take all 3 points against Liverpool.
I don't think so. It's just one of those games where you do everything and you couldn't get all. It just doesn't happen. You look at Liverpool. To me, I think Liverpool were much better, improved in the second half, and they played better than Arsenal. But despite that, overall, this is the first time Liverpool will be playing a game. In fact, according to the stat, about
no shot on
target.
Yeah.
And but if you look at the game, you want to think that Liverpool are the better side, probably overall with the way they played in the second half. But despite that, they were not able to register a single shot on target. So for us now, if you talk about match winner, I just think it's one of those nights because we've seen, Arsenal don't, at the moment, I look at Arsenal, not just this season, in the last 2-3 seasons, the last 3, 4, 5 seasons, they've not had a player in the top 5 when it comes to highest goal scorer. Yeah, but despite that, overall, you see that you look at the top
spread the goal around.
They spread the goal around, so they bring in the goal. So I don't think it's about not having a particular number 9. That's why they will struggle.
Yeah, so from team ambition to individual ambition inside the Arsenal dressing room. Yeah, Ballon d'Or. Ambition, Declan Rice drops his intent of getting the Ballon d'Or. So Declan Rice has openly spoken about his Ballon d'Or ambition. A bold statement mid-season. Some praise the confidence, others question the timing and focus. Is Rice showing elite mentality or unnecessary ego by discussing the Ballon d'Or now?
Well, I don't think it's showing unnecessary ego, because if it were to be players like Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, that said that nobody will be talking about ego. We've seen the likes of Yama boasting of going on to win the last what's his name again, the one that Dembele won, is it the Ballon d'Or or the FIFA best?
FIFA best,
yeah. To the extent it took almost all his family to the rotation. Yeah, so it's not ego. And you look at Declan Rice, he has been in the conversation now, going for the past 1 season plus now, and at the moment he's enjoying his football. So I think it's right for him to also be thinking about, because when you start thinking about going for Ballon d'Or, you know what it means to go for, to be the winner of the Ballon d'Or. It means that you have given your best.
But some of us don't really give the award the respect that some give them, because too many favoritism as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, that is why for in the like of the player in the caliber of what's his name, Declan Rice, for him to be able to win it, that means he has to be very, very exceptional, because he's not one of those players that
scores a lot of goals,
and at the same time not one of those players that the media always
sharp
yeah. So for him to be able to win it, that means he has given everything.
Can a defensive midfielder realistically win it in today's football?
Definitely, but the road for that defensive midfielder, or the path for him to win it, is going to be a very, very tough one. That means he has to win every possible trophy available at the same time.
But you remember the year Chelsea won the Champions League? They were short of Junior, he didn't win it.
Yeah, that's one of
Jorginho.
Yeah, they were talk about Jorginho winning it, but that is where at times you question
that's why I said that's why I said some of us has lost the respect for the award, because the inconsistency in who gets to win what, the criteria for the awards. But well, we'll leave it right there. But now, how do teammates and managers usually react to such public individual ambitions?
Well, I don't think there's anything more. It's not always hidden, because even you see some teammates.
So, because now you look at it. Well, let me put it in perspective. Looking at Sadio Mane and Salah. Yeah. You remember the rundown to winning the AFCON that year. Yeah. You saw how it showed they became more selfish to the team. Are you picturing something like that happening in Arsenal with Bukayo Saka, Gyökeres, they shout about these guys? And will it affect the team?
I don't think so. I think the scenario now is different from that of Mane and Salah, because you look at Mane and Salah, then they are both attackers, and though they are not the number 9, but both of them they are both attackers.
But they are in the same team.
They are in the same team, and they all want to get the goal. But for Declan Rice, his job is not just to get the goal. His first priority is not about getting the goal. It's for him to help the team overall achieved the 3 points in every games, and if possible go ahead and get 1 or 2 goals also for himself. And you look at the Arsenal team at the moment, I don't think, apart from probably Gabriel, I don't think there's anybody performing Declan Rice at the moment. And even his teammates, I know they will all be rooting for him, and they want to see him succeed. So I don't think there's any issue between the players and the manager having conversation, or the thought. And though this question, I know it's probably one of those journalists that will want to throw out that question to him. You understand? You know how they do, just to
get something out of the player. Yeah. So from ambition on the pitch to ambition in the transfer market, Chelsea lead race for next message, Chelsea are reportedly ahead of Arsenal in the chase for teenage sensation Konstantinos characters among the youth gamble, another long-time project and another flashpoint in the London rivalry. Now, we've read a lot about the guys like this. We heard Musonda, you heard them before they go into thin hair, while some actually come up with the goodies. So is Chelsea youth hoarding strategy? Is Chelsea's youth hoarding strategy visionary or reckless squad inflation?
Well, it's very good for a team, to strengthen their youth team, and because we've seen, a lot of players coming out from different various clubs, football academy. But in the part of Chelsea, if you look at the last 4, 5, 6 seasons now, you find it very hard to find a player currently in the first team now that's come up from the academy, apart from Reece James now.
There's Chalobah,
and who else? It's very, and Chelsea.
There's Achipong too.
But he hasn't really. I still don't think he has really, been part of the first team. Probably it's because of due to injury and the manager.
But still part of the first team. You said first team.
Has he been promoted to the first team?
He's part of the first team. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, part of the first team at the moment. So aside from those players now, and apart from that, in the last 2-3 seasons, we've seen Chelsea bring a lot of players into the academy. At the end of the day, even I'm trying to remember now, Chelsea have confirmed this today that they've let one of the academy players join Middlesbrough on a permanent transfer. And you look at Chelsea transfer also since the time since this man now Todd Bowley came on. A lot of Chelsea fans have accused him of turning Chelsea to a profit making venture, just want to bring those players for profit and make money. But I think if you ask me now, at the moment, I think Chelsea should be thinking of bringing on elite players. Players that they have made the mark, because now they have too many young players in the squad.
Well, if you talk about that, you talk about a team that's bringing in an elite coach. Chelsea isn't bringing an elite coach.
That is what we expect. I was also saying the last talk sport here, because when this similar question was asked, and I was saying for Chelsea, I think at the moment they were supposed to bring in elite, manager. When you have young players, bringing on a manager that is not elite, starting his career with players that are also starting their career, is going to be a long season.
Long season it might be. So does labeling young players as next Messi help or harm their development? It's a lot of pressure. I don't know where the media sometimes get this from, but will it help the young lad?
I think at the moment it's harming them. It's not really helping them. You look at the last 5 years, I've not seen any player named after or one of these great or any player you call the next Pele or Maradona that is shining at the moment. Some will say probably what's his name, Lamine Yamal. It's one in probably in 20. Aside from Lamine Yamal, I don't think there's any other player.
Well, how many of them are they giving playing time?
That is the issue. That is why, okay, let's take an example. What's his name now? The guy, the Real Madrid guy now, that is they loan to Leon now. A lot was expected for him. Different names. The next R9, the
Hendrick.
Hendrick. But today now is that Leon. In fact, in the first game, he was on the bench all through again. So I think the journalists and co, they need to take a break and label any player that just perform maybe for 30 minutes. The next Messi, the next Ronaldo.
So why does Arsenal keep missing out on elite young targets to direct rivals? But to be candid, maybe a little. But Arsenal too has not done badly
in bringing on
a young talent.
At the moment, they've been bringing on players, but they are not players that you've been hearing their name. You look at Arsenal squad right now. At least you can still find about 3-4 players that have come out from the academy, and they have one now that is the talk of the town. Though he's out injured. That's Max Duman. You remember, not up to a year and a half now, we let some of our big academy players like Chido Obi Martin. Evan, we let them go. Not that because
they didn't renew their contract.
It's not about renewing; it's about meeting the demand. More especially for Evan, and Obi Martins. It was about not just renewing the contract. It's about playing time than the financial part of it. So Arsenal didn't meet probably the players' expectations.
They didn't renew their contract. It's as simple as that.
And they had to let they let one go. They sold the other one. So I don't think Arsenal is having
one contract expired. But when you make it sound like they let them go, it's like they dashed them out. No. The contract expired, and the one they could sell off before the contract expired, they sold him off.
The other guy, there was option because it's just he just only signed his I think academic contract with Arsenal. Then that was Chidobe Martin. So there was option for them to either put a contract forward and for him, but he had issue with the money that is going to be receiving. That is why, and he looked at it, it was like, oh, I don't think I can even get what they call it, playing time when with Arsenal. So and he decided to go.
So from future stars to present superstars under pressure. And yes, Osimhen controversy, star in AFCON hot water. Victor Osimhen's fiery temperament has once again sparked debate at AFCON. His intensity defines Nigeria's attack, but critics worry it could cross the line at crucial moments. Let's start from here. Is Osimhen's aggression a weapon Nigeria needs or a ticking time bomb?
I think it's a ticking time bomb because when it explodes, it's going to explode in everybody's face. But at the moment now, we just have to manage it because of the situation where we are at ongoing right now. What I mean by situation, the progress we are actually making now, the African Cup of Nations.
But to look at this Osimhen issue, will you say there are no strikers with the same temperament and they ended up being top in their careers in Europe? Osimhen's issue is not as if he's arrogant. It's more or less the passion on the field. You heard what he was telling Lookman. It was a clear statement. Play for the team. It was clear as daylight. Play. And sometimes when the team wants to win, these kinds of things are not far-fetched. Yes, it was just maybe a bit brutal saying it in front of the camera, while some others say it in the dressing room. What say you?
Well, I think it's a necessary thing for him to have done in that kind of game where we are already leading by 3 goals by then. And Lookman, to be honest, has been the best player on the pitch that day. And if you ask me overall between Lookman and Osimhen, who has been Nigerian best player at the ongoing African Cup of Nations.
No, this is not. You are comparing. See, you are taking this conversation. We are not talking about the best. We are talking about that decision at that point in time. Was Ademola Lookman right not to set that pass at that point? You know that. See, the complaint was not about Ademola Lookman's performance the whole game. It was at that point in time. Was he right not to set the pass?
Well,
or was he wrong?
Ademola Lookman is an attacker that wants to get the goal, like every other attacker there. But if you look at before that time, Ademola Lookman has already provided.
Don't go back to that time.
No.
Let's narrow it down to a yes or no. When Ademola Lookman was in that position, should he have passed the ball or take the shot? I need an answer.
I think he should take the shot. Because there's no any guarantee that if he passes the ball, the person that he passed the ball will also get the goal. And like I said,
you are taking it beyond what I am asking. Because realistically, if you remove sentiment, Osimhen was in a better position. He was in a better position to get the goal. And now looking at it, where Lookman was, it was a tight angle. Now, at that point, forget what Lookman has done all the moment of the game. We're talking about that situation. What if it was a nil-nil situation? Wait, at that point in time, If you were Ademola Lookman, would you have passed the ball or tried to hit on target?
Well, it's two-way, like you said. If the game
just answer the question. If you were there, what would be your decision?
Let's start by saying the standard of Ademola Lookman, his own pedigree or the caliber of player he is, I think he would definitely go for the goal. And why we are having this conversation?
You are taking it. Wait. No. You are taking this thing off point. I just want you to answer. Leave Ademola Lookman the big name or whatever. We are talking about decision making at a particular point in time, which gave back to Osimhen's complaint. Was Ademola Lookman right to take that attempt at that point, or to set a pass? So if you were Ademola Lookman, would you set a pass or go at goal? Which one would be the best decision that the coach will not complain, bearing in mind that the team needs that goal?
Well, I think I will go for goal.
What I'm saying, yeah, because so that's just what I want.
I just want to clarify something. Why saying?
No, there's no.
If reverse was the case, if it was Victor Osimhen that was there with the ball, then and it goes for goal,
do you know that
people will be saying
no. This thing you said. Go and check the Nigeria's first game. The goal Ademola Lookman score. Osimhen was in a good place to take it. Listen. No. You
can't be passing.
You're making a mistake. Wait. You're making a mistake. Listen. When you are making a mistake, is you are talking about instinct. No, it's not instinct. It's about being. See, some like for instance, I change. There are times that as an attacker, you know that you should pass this ball and you take it. See, against was it Tunisia or Tanzania? The ball Osimhen passed. He could have taken it on goal, and Osimhen had not had the goal in that tournament at that time. Listen, and he passed that ball to Ademola Lookman. He could have taken it, but Ademola Lookman was in a better place to score. So that's what we are talking about. Now, when you look at, Nigerians are very emotional. When we talk about these kinds of things, we should be practical about it. What if the scoreline was 0-0?
But the scoreline.
Let me now tell you. If the scoreline, one thing about footballers is this: if the scoreline was 0-0, most likely, the way he took it was the way we most likely take it, because instinct. Now we are talking about decision making, because Osimhen complained about the decision he made at that particular point in time.
Well, Victor Osimhen is not the manager of the team. Though I feel he has the right to also feel agree or complain that you could have passed the ball, or probably I'm in a better situation to get the goal, a better position to get the goal. But at the same time, you look at it based on the way the match is going. We're already leading by 3-0 as at that time, and Ademola Lookman already provided one assist. In fact, the goal Victor Osimhen scored, I think the second goal, Victor Osimhen scored I think two goals in that game. The second goal was provided by the first one I think was Akon Adams that provided that.
I think the two was Lookman.
So I think since the game is still ongoing and we're already 3 goals up, I think Ademola Lookman has the right to be selfish in that position at that particular time. So for Victor Osimhen, yes, you can make complaint, but you shouldn't take it too personal, being too aggressive. Not just to Ademola Lookman only alone. You hear what he was saying to his other teammates, telling them to fuck off. It's not necessary.
Now, see, I'm not trying to defend Osimhen, but if you understand the passion, for instance, we all enjoy when Osimhen plays and he gives everything. Now, it comes with something too, the intensity and the passion. It comes from the way you speak. It comes with anger, sometimes annoyance, because you always want to win. And let me now tell you, if we now say it's not justified to be angry, or to be angry that Ademola didn't pass that ball, then we should think again. Because now you are saying Ademola was right to take it, but let me now put the question to you like this: if it was maybe a nini or a 1-1 situation, and Ademola was put in that position, what do you think Ademola should do? Take it at go like that? Just we need to be fast because of time.
Well, like you said, if the game was new and the situation like that comes up, it still goes on instinct. Some players will definitely pass.
We are talking about decision.
Yeah,
no, see, we are not talking about instinct. We are talking about what will be the right decision for Lookman to take there. Let's not drag it. What will be the right decision for you that you think Ademola Lookman should take? Just mention it and leave instinct.
Well, the decisions that will lead to go is what I think will be the right one.
And which one do you think will lead to go out of the two? Should he take it or pass the ball?
Well, if he thinks he can get the goal, then he should take the goal.
It's not about thinking. At that angle, if you play football, you know some angles are tight angles.
But we saw some people get goals from that same angle.
And what I'm saying is this: for instance, getting goals at that angle most likely means the striker is not in a good position. And what he simply said was playing for the team. So if you were in that situation, what will be don't start dribbling it. Pick one. Will you square the ball or take it?
Right, I will definitely take it.
You take it, definitely. And while the discussion was on, the dog came into the studio. The dog, you're welcome.
Thank you, Yemi. Thank you for having me on the show. Thank you, Apollo. Nice to be on the show with you tonight. And just before you continue, Yemi, you were talking about Ademola Lookman and Osimhen's transaction. And I had the last position being that, what would you do if you were found in that situation?
Yes.
As a footballer,
yes,
a lot of times you take your instinct. That's the first thing. You act after your instinct. You're looking at, okay, what's the best thing to do right now? Pass the ball or take a shot. Just before that incident happened, Ademola Lookman had a chance to score. He tried to score play, and it was intercepted by a defender. Do you remember that scene?
Yeah.
He was going to give it to Osimhen, and I just thought, why did he try giving it to Osimhen? He had the post, he had the keeper, he had the angle, but I think he wanted Osimhen to score a hat-trick.
Yeah.
So he just decided to give it to Osimhen, and the defender intervened. And I was here running the show with Paulo, and we screamed, why was he not selfish in that situation?
Oh.
So the next time he had a chance, and he looks at the opportunity, what if he has tried to score and it was intercepted again? Wouldn't we have roasted him? I personally would have called for his head. The next thing that happened was that Bruno Yemechi also did the same thing, and that was what triggered Osimhen. Because it was actually Bruno's issue that made him pounce on Lookman. And he was trying to tell Lookman that, look, I'm talking about the team, and it's not about you, it's about Bruno. So even when Ndidi was trying to stop him, I think it was his passion that made him wave Ndidi's hand off. He just waved him off because in his mind he wasn't fighting. He was just trying to explain to Lookman that it was not about you, it was about the last one, because Ndidi had no business, Bruno had no business taking that shot. He had made like 2 or 3 dribbles, a good chance. The best option to do was either give it to the left or square play to the right. But he decided to go and he ballooned it. And that was what triggered that issue. He hit somebody and went off to corner. And before they could take the corner kick, the imbroglio happened. For me, in my own opinion on that situation, yes, Osimhen has a right to his passion. Osimhen has a right to express himself. But your right of expression ends at somebody else's rights. Where your own rights infringes on somebody else's rights, then it becomes a bully. So you are termed bullying when you overextend your rights. Your right has gone beyond, you could have given me that ball, but he didn't give you. Then don't go and force it on his throat and say, but you should have given me that ball. No, he didn't need to give you that ball. You are all playing in the team to get a goal, and he had a chance, and he saw he could take it. Lookman had taken several of such chances. In fact, He became the World Footballer of the Year because of his exploit in the Europa League.
African Footballer of the Year.
African Footballer of the Year because of his exploits at the Europa League for Atalanta when he scored a hat-trick in the final. And it was because he took those chances, he didn't pass.
But there was nobody.
He had
in that situation, the best decision was to shoot.
No, the angles.
Sir, what about the angles?
He had 3 goals. One of them was a solo run. He had people he could pass to. He didn't pass. He went himself. He pushed the ball out to the center. He moved into the 18 and he feinted a move for the defender to shake, and then he took one shot that went to that angle. I remember this.
That was the last.
I think that's the last goal. Yeah, that was the last.
The first 2 were outside the box.
He had 2 of those goals that he could have crossed to somebody.
No. The first 2 was outside the box, edge of the box. Had to pick his corner and he picked it.
He took the shot.
And that was the right decision.
He could have made the pass.
He could have made a pass. Why did he have to shoot from outside the 18?
There was no one in front of him.
No, he doesn't have to pass to the front. He could pass to Cataleri next to him. Or he could pass to this guy. What's the name that was with him before he went to PSG? It was a guy on the left. But he decided to go himself and he became a hero from that. So we're not going to blame Lookman for taking chances. Otherwise, what you're going to get is a redundant attack. Because if I make errors and I don't score, no, you blame me for not giving.
The question here is not that Ademola should not take that goal. He mentioned the scoreline. He mentioned different situation of the match. I'm not talking about different situation. I'm talking about in that situation. When you get that ball at that angle, with Osimhen there, and you have the sight at goal, what would you do? Would you square the ball or you just take it at goal?
And he said he would score the ball.
He said he would take it at
goal. I'm asking you.
But you said he would score the ball. Don't change it.
I said yes, he would take it at goal. The instinct.
Yes, that's you will square the ball.
So he didn't say square.
He said he will shoot. Yeah, that's what he will do.
Yes. So I'm asking you, what would you do in that situation?
In that situation, under the circumstances,
yes,
considering that the last 2 passes I tried to square didn't get through, I will take the shot.
That is what I'm trying to say.
And Osimhen has scored 2 goals.
2 goals
at that point in time. Nigeria had a comfortable lead.
That is it.
And I have tried to make 2 of those passes that don't go through. I will take the shot.
You are adding the other issues that have happened on the field. I'm not adding. I'm just saying.
No. Yemi, you can't separate. Yemi, don't narrow it. You cannot separate. You can't take an issue out of context. You cannot preach a message out of the environment and the culture where it happened. You can't take somebody's action out of him. There's no way people are judging Osimhen because of what he did there versus Lookman. People are judging Osimhen because of what he does over and over and over. So you cannot isolate Lookman's action from what Lookman had been and what he has experienced on that field. So also you can't isolate Osimhen from what he has been doing from the beginning of that game, from the beginning of the tournament, from the beginning of the qualifiers, and since Osimhen has become the big boy. So you can't isolate issues.
And one other thing is that Victor Osimhen should have known the player, what's his name, Lookman. He's a player that likes to, also wants to
express himself.
And this is not about expressing. I only asked a simple question. In that situation, you said you will shoot.
Yeah.
You said you will shoot, and I will square.
Beautiful.
So that's your opinion. That's my opinion too. Beautiful. So can elite
but viewers can also put in their comments. They can also tell us what they will do.
Yeah, they can tell us what
they will do. Put it in the comment section.
In the comment section and right there. And can elite teams win major tournaments without emotional control?
Elite teams can't win without emotional control, because what makes you an elitist is maturity in the first place. Barbarians are not elites. Everybody does whatever or uses passion here and there. You cannot be elitist. The word elite comes from organization, discipline, maturity, and order.
Can I bring this conversation into that Chelsea team under Conte? We know Diego Costa. We know he's hot-headed. We know Cantona. We know he's hot-headed. Won the league with Man. In fact, won the treble with Man U, Cantona. Won the double for Chelsea, Diego Costa. Now, emotional control.
Question: how many goals did Diego Costa score to win that league?
He scored over 20 goals.
Was he the highest goal scorer in the league?
No, it wasn't.
Was he the second highest goal scorer in the league?
But
no, it wasn't.
But his goals won Chelsea the league.
Hold on. Did he play alone?
His goals won Chelsea the league.
Wait now.
Now, the same way Osimhen is not playing alone.
Hold on, please. Because you're talking of elitists versus hooliganism or disorderliness or temperament disorder. You can't be elitist without order. Some people brought the ball into the space where the guy would jab it in. So even when you have a hot head, you know how to use your hot head to balance and play in the elitist organization. Because if you can't function in the elitist organization, the coaches, the technical crew, and the club will eject you. Osimhen was left out in Napoli for how long?
For
many matches. What? In spite of his importance. And
when was that?
Oh, please hold on.
No. I want to so that we put this in proper context.
After he won the league, and he was the highest or the best scorer, the MVP of Serie A.
No, it was not the MVP.
But he was the highest goal scorer, the golden boot for Serie A, and they won the league. It was celebrated over. He had issues with the coach.
He didn't have issues with the coach.
No, he did. He had issues.
He didn't. Let me now explain this. He didn't have issue with the coach. The issue he had was he lost a penalty, and the social media team were like racist with their comment on him, which he was justified to react, and even they had to apologize to him afterwards, and even the coach. So Spalletti and after that. The other time he was benched was the row in his transfer, where Conte already sat him down and he made up his mind that he was leaving.
So, two things now.
So Nigerians are taking that out of context.
Wait. Two things. No, it's not out of context. It's because of Osimhen's character. Yeah. I told you something. You cannot take an issue in isolation and deal with it. If you go to the law court today to go and deal with an issue, I'm glad we have a barrister with us in the studio. If you are going to deal with one issue of somebody stole something and they must punish him like this, one of the things they are going to consider is precedent. Has he done it before?
Yeah.
Number two, has he been doing it constantly, even after being reprimanded? Number three, does he have the tendency to do it again? Those are the things the judge will consider before he gives you a sentence. Go and find out. Verify. So it's not an isolated case of, Osimhen talked to Lookman made this mistake and it should end it. No. Osimhen's issue is long-standing. Nigerians have been tolerating Osimhen's attitude. The way he rushed and lashed out at the press and the social media when they jabbed him. Social media jabbed you, they criticized. Are you the first they will criticize? Do you know how much Ronaldo collects on daily basis? Do you know how much Messi has collected on daily basis?
Suarez?
I'm even talking of the biggest stars in the world that are like gods of football. Do you know how much they collected while coming up? Why Messi? Ibrahimovic, what's his name? Ibrahimovic complained. They always favor Messi. Social media went after him. Did he reply them? Messi was given penalty. He lost it. Chelsea won the Champions League because Messi lost the penalty against Czech. Did he reply them? Why was Messi the one to take the crucial penalty? Did he reply? He didn't reply. Even Ibrahimovic, he lost chances at that Chelsea match. Did he reply? No. Why will Osimhen go and be replying press? And then causing chaos. And you think that a player that is causing chaos in your club is not a cancer? It's cancerous.
Now, where I want to go.
So the club will have to punish him by putting him on the bench.
No. I want you to mention one situation where he has caused chaos in his club.
You mentioned it.
When?
The press, people. I'm going to quote you.
Quote me.
The social media went after him. Abi?
Yes.
And then
the police social media account. Let's put it in perspective.
Please hold on.
Yeah.
Social media. Media went after him.
Not social media. Napoli. See,
and
that's why
it's one person that controls
Napoli's account.
Official
account. In fact, official TikTok account.
Yeah.
Which is a social media page.
Yeah.
Hey, if you say social media, you're like generalizing, like
looking at the whole people.
I'm putting it in the perspective.
Yes.
Because even the influencers commented.
Yeah. The Napoli social media went after him. And then they punched him. And you said it was justified. Was that the word you used?
Yes, it deleted.
No. I just want to hold you by your word.
Yes, the reaction it made was the same thing Salah did this year. That you are saying that some other players don't.
Yeah, please hold on.
Yes.
He said he was justified to respond to them or to react.
He was justified to react.
To react. Are you supposed to react? If you have to react, did you seek counsel from legal and learned people of consequences of your reaction?
Okay, let me now give you, make it like a question. What was his reaction after the issue?
You will tell me, you will brought on
That's what I'm telling you. The reaction you are talking about was that he deleted everything concerning Napoli from his page.
Now,
and he was not the first.
So,
Salah did the same.
Okay. Salah did the same.
Yes. Wait. I can begin to count. Wait. We can begin to count.
You're using a very wrong example.
Okay.
Now Salah is even going to bury him further because Salah is still not out of that wood that he entered. Salah is still not favored at the outfield right now. If they are tolerating him and playing him, it's because they are tolerating him. Even before he left for Africa, how many matches was he sat on the bench for?
I think he was on a 3 match coming from.
So you forgot in the last game, he came on and I think gave 2 assists.
Yeah, but
and the fans still sang his name.
That is the fans for you.
But the same Salah deleted every Liverpool stuff from his account.
Yes.
Instagram account.
You are talking of the fans singing his praise. We're talking of the club management, the club official page. The club official page hit at you, and then you went ahead and reacted violently by deleting everything about your what do they call people that feed you? Your breadwinner. Your breadwinner. Your benefactor. That's the word I'm using for.
Yeah,
your benefactor that is paying your salary. That decide whether you will play or you will sit on the bench or whether they will frustrate your career. You reacted by clearing them off. In other words, you called off their bluff. That to haze or to hades with them. So are you telling me that is not a good reaction to be classified as poison or cancer? Do you expect the club to condone that? And yeah, come and get your jersey, go and play again. No, don't worry.
And that was what the club.
Don't worry about the reaction.
That was what now. In fact, I think after that incident, Napoli gave him a new contract.
Yeah, which he,
so if it was that bad, now in fact they even increased the salary.
But after that,
and they apologized to him.
After that incident, Yemi, he started having issues with Napoli as a team.
When?
Because even his transfer, you remember his transfer was a lot strained because of that.
No.
Yes.
He wanted to leave.
He wanted to leave. They were blocking him with fund. They were raising the bar all the time.
No. Napoli wanted to cash in on him when he has told them bluntly that he was going to leave. And they gave him a new contract, increased his salary, and put a buyout clause of 120 million. Any club
that the average club that want to buy him, it wasn't valued at 120 million at the time. The only players valued at over 130 million, if I remember then, was Dembele, Ousmane Dembele. I think it was another British boy or somebody playing in the EPL who were in the market. Osimhen was valued at 70-80 million even at the time.
Do you know, at that time, Dembele was not valued at 120. Dembele left Barcelona to PSG for 25
Thank you for correcting me. Let's come back to Osimhen. Yemi. So if Osimhen, whose value was around 65-70 million, and the club now gives him a contract, and raises his value to what? 120 million.
If they wanted to cash in, Napoli got him for 75 million.
Yeah.
So will they sell him for 70 million and say they cash in? No, now they will increase it. That's where I'm going to. And if you study, see, the thing is this: people have a perception.
What was his
what I'm trying
value?
to say?
What was his market?
What I'm trying to say, people have this perception about Osimhen, and when you go and dig deeper, you will see that a lot of things people are saying, they are wrong.
That he deleted the club, everything about the club on his bios.
He had issues in Napoli.
He did have issues in Napoli. None of my staff can do that and continue to enjoy the full benefit of
what did their own staff first do?
Well, it's just one person. You cannot generate it. And the club immediately apologized. They deleted it. And
even after that deletion,
social media, the person handling their social media account. It's not that the manager.
Even after
their I know. It's not the fans.
I know that.
He still went ahead and did a lot of stuff.
Like what?
Like deleting and talking.
The only he didn't talk. He didn't even grant an interview.
If we dig very
he didn't grant an interview. I can tell you, in fact I can put my money on it.
Don't put your money on.
It's a story that I followed. That's what I'm telling you. That the perception
let's
of
take him back to
Nigerians.
Finidi George. Did he talk or did he not talk?
He talked about for me the Finidi George outburst. It is 50-50 for you not to talk, because when you give your all, see, let me tell you, from what I see, realistically, there's no player in the national team for the past 20 years that give their all like Osimhen. In fact, for the past 30 years.
It is a lie.
Okay, mention one that give their all like what you see Osimhen give on the field for Nigeria in the past 20 years.
Since 2005. That's 20 years.
20 years, yes.
Mikel Obi. Magbo. Mikel Obi as an under 20.
See, the fans, you can join this conversation. Yeah. We want to the past 20 years, is there any Nigerian player that has given their that usually give their all like Osimhen does on the field of play? Of course,
let's get it right.
I can mention the immediate pass Super Eagles captain.
No, just go to the 2013 team. Go to the 2013 team that won the Nations Cup. I mentioned 3 players or 4 that played their heart out, and then Nigeria came back with a trophy. How many trophies has Osimhen won for Nigeria?
But Osimhen gives his own.
Sunday Mba, what he played in that Nations Cup, he was an unknown guy, a local player. As of then, please hold on, because you asked the question.
Yes.
Who has given? And I decided to take it from 05. I went down to when Obi was under 20. When he started playing for under 20, and he did what
under
he did.
Under 20 is not the national
Hold on,
team.
I'm building a precedent here. And they faced a Lionel Messi in the final. If not for the prowess of Lionel Messi, Obi will have brought with his team. They will have brought something good for Nigeria at that time. That's number one. Do you know that Nigeria has never won that under 20 World Cup? Under 20 is irrelevant. We have never won it. So Obi could have won it then if not for that magician that was on the field. He practically took it by himself and took it from us. After that, Obi graduated to Super Eagles. He was consistently playing for Super Eagles to the extent that at a point in time, he was going to pay or even paid the people's allowances.
And the bond by NFF that he never
even did. If he did not pay, he told us clearly that he had to speak to the president and said, this is Mikel Obi, sir, this is the issue we have. If they don't pay, or if the country does not pay, I will pay from my purse.
I think one player
and presidency had to offset that to avoid him making the payment. Is it not as good as he has paid?
I don't even know if it's true.
That's one. No, I'm not saying he paid. Whether he paid or he didn't pay, he went out of his way to make sure that Nigeria and the team got what they needed to get. And that man played on the field, he played off the field. You are talking of giving up. Is it by running around and by fighting for ball or by struggling and giving people help?
Like that.
No, it's not.
It's part of it.
No, sir.
Because we see him show his sweat, bro. I don't think I've ever seen
does Lionel Messi burn half the energy Osimhen burn on the field? Answer me. Does he burn half the energy Victor Osimhen burn on the field?
I don't think so.
Victor,
of course, your silence has given us the answer.
Lionel Messi burns energy because when you look at Lionel, even
does
at the
he
World
burn
now let's take this to the World Cup.
Osimhen burns on the field. If burning energy is your criteria of giving up, I am asking you, sir.
Osimhen
as Lionel Messi, since we knew him.
Now, see. We are talking about attitude on the field of play.
We're still talking about attitude.
Because talking about, okay, let me take this to Paul. Paul, looking at the way Osimhen has played, can you mention a game where you can say Osimhen didn't give his all since you've been watching the national team?
Well, it's very rare or hard for me to pick out a game where he hasn't given or putting a lot of effort. Not that there are some games that he played, and we did still win or he didn't get the goal, but you could still see that he tried his best. But what we are talking about is attitude. When you feel that I think at the moment Victor Osimhen is looking at probably I'm the only one in the team doing or trying to win the game for the team. So that is where the issue comes now.
He made a statement.
The issue of Ademola Lookman. And where you said he has given his best.
Now I would like.
He made it sound as
do you know he made a statement which was on Twitter that Nigerians come to me and they accuse me that we didn't qualify for the World Cup. Not them, not you, but me. Why?
And
why? And because of that,
if you put that into context,
sir, please hold on, sir. Because of that, you have to go on the field and get a bulala and start beating your teammates.
They didn't beat. They don't beat. No, I don't agree. That's not beating. To be that's not beating. I don't agree.
When I talk proverbially, you should understand the difference between being proverbial and.
I understand.
Yes,
but
so what he did.
But I think beating is too harsh.
It's not too harsh.
It's too harsh.
If somebody will literally kick in the captain's hand off in that manner, it's worse than beating.
Even in the dressing room, he
left them and threw the credentials off and decided to walk off.
Yeah, he walked straight into the dressing room.
We saw videos of when people were trying to hold him after he has changed, and he flung off their hands and walked off. So what beating are you talking about? Beating is much less than humiliation. It's better they give you 3 strokes of the cane than for you to face some humiliation, global humiliation. So Ademola Lookman took it so well. Immediate past African Footballer of the Year. Being humiliated like that.
Yeah.
So from controversy to blockbuster AFCON showdown right there in Morocco, right there. You see, you can see the passion of the beautiful game of football. So Algeria versus Nigeria, clash of the Titans. AFCON breaks for one of AFCON's biggest fixtures. Algeria versus Nigeria, and earlier today, Senegal eliminated Mali from the AFCON. So Senegal is through to the semi-final. So 2 giants loaded with talent, pride, and history. Only one can move closer to continental glory. Which team has the tactical edge, Paul, going into this quarterfinal battle between Nigeria and Algeria?
Well, at the moment, I think it's the Algerians, given what's happening with the Super Eagles team at the moment, because you don't know the Super Eagles that will turn up on that game. You're looking at everything that is happening.
But you know the Osimhen that will turn up.
Well, we are not 100% sure if because where we are hearing is that they've settled things up, they smooth things up. It's until when they get back to the pitch now, on the field of play now, then we will know if everything is all right with the team. But because the Algerians will be looking at what has been happening around the Super Eagles national team, and they want to take advantage, going forward. But I think at the same time it could also be to our own advantage also, because the players might come on the field and like Osimhen is saying, talking about giving your best. Everybody will want to give their best, and before we can take advantage of that and win the game.
So who carries more pressure, Nigerian Stars or Algerian Algeria's tournament pedigree?
I think right now the Algerians are under more pressure. The tournament is being played in the Arab region, and that's in the North Africa, their region, and they will have more fans in that environment. And number two is that they are playing a favorite of the tournament. Nigeria is a favorite. Before the various goings on in the dressing room of Nigeria, Nigerians' rating was pretty high for the nation's coveted trophy. I mean, the continent's coveted trophy. But for the brouhaha that happened lately, it will become a bit shifty if they are not as firm as they were in their last two outings. So Algeria is under more pressure, but Nigeria is also under the pressure of performing. But Algeria are underdogs here. So Nigeria is the favorite.
Paulo was itching to say something right there.
First of all, I don't think Algeria is underdog yet, because the last time we met, I could still remember they defeated us 2-1. They also, in fact, it was still fresh in my memory. And going back to the issue of pressure, I think Nigeria is under much pressure than Algeria now, given the fact with what happened. Because now, if we fail to win that game, that is when everything will explode, because everybody will now,
as far as I'm concerned, personally, I'm not expecting anything from the Super Eagles. I said it. So, could this match define the tournament winner, the Doc?
Not really. Nigeria qualifies, perhaps, hopefully, prayerfully. There might still be Morocco in the game if they edge out Cameroon.
But do you think Nigeria is the favorite against Algeria?
Right now, yes, I believe Nigeria is a favorite. Nigeria has a better team right now, and we're actually favorites based on our run. Nigeria has a better form than Algeria as it is. Yes, even in the Nations
Cup. What about you, Paul?
Yeah, we've always been favorite against Algeria.
We have a better run of form right now.
Based on the form we are at the moment.
But determining the outcome.
But I don't think we are we are not the favorite to leave the AFCON, because you still have the like of Senegal, who are flying high. I think Senegal should be the favorite.
Yeah, so on leaving it at the favorite conversation right there, you can hear the Doc talk about Nigeria being the favorite. Also, Paulo tilting towards the Nigeria conversation, that Nigeria also is the favorite for this one. So, January has shaken the Premier League ambition. Premier League ambition is clashing with pressure. AFCON is delivering drama, controversy, and passion. Exactly why we love this game called football. So you can drop your thoughts, your comments on our page, and let the conversation keep flowing. You can engage us on Facebook and other platforms to let us know your thoughts, and while we make this conversation as rich as possible outside the studio. Paulo, thank you for joining us today. And the Doc, thank you for joining us also. So did City win the window already? What time? We answer that. Are Arsenal cracking under pressure? You can answer that. And who will win? Algeria, Nigeria, you can predict. We don't know if you will win. Or you might win something at the end of the day. So, this has been TalkSport, where football stories breed, clash, and come alive. Like and share and subscribe on our page. Don't forget, you can only fail if you stop trying. My name is Afro Ade. We'll meet again next time. Good night, and God bless you.